I'm William Nozak, and this is Optimizing Your Content for SEO. What is SEO content? Maybe you're thinking, what is SEO? What is content? So let's look at some things. SEO is the process of optimizing a website and its content so that it ranks higher in the search engine result pages. Content, these are pages, these are posts, categories, tags, products. Everything that's a piece of content on your website is something that hypothetically could be optimized for the search engines. Now granted, if we look at 10 pages, maybe only 8 of them will actually have any purpose in the search engine. 2 of them may just be pages that are needed for people that are on the website and need to find certain things or do certain things that really we don't want the search engines to index. Content is any information published online, usually with the intention of a search engine indexing it. Again, there are going to be landing pages that are in your robots.txt that we don't want the search engines indexing. We want to use those for landing pages for ads. There's going to be your XML sitemap and things like that we really don't want Google to put in the search engine. So your website's going to produce different tags that allow the engines to know, hey, we don't want this indexed in the engine. SEO content is content created with the explicit purpose of ranking high in the SERPs, so as to bring in more organic traffic to the website. When we're talking about Google, Yahoo, Bing, and other engines out there, image search, video search, social media searches, it's really important to have content on your website that's really specific to what you're hoping the user is needing. So whatever they're searching for in those engines, we certainly want to have something that matches up against that intent. Google uses content as a search ranking signal. The more content pages you have that are appropriate to the theme of your website, and the more content you have on those pages, and the more content that you have on those pages that are specific to that keyword cloud, and then even more importantly, to what the user's intent is, the better chance you have of ranking a page and a website in local and national search. So how to optimize content for search engines? Identify the target audience. Certainly you need to understand who we're trying to target, who our best buyer is. Are we just trying to be at the top of the funnel and educate people? There are certainly reasons for that. Are we somewhere in the middle of the funnel? Maybe we've got a site that's saying, hey, here are the 10 best companies in this space. Middle of the funnel. People are kind of starting to educate themselves on who they should use and what the difference is or the value proposition between those businesses are. Or do we strictly have content that's at bottom of the funnel? We create information and our product basically educates you, and we have all kinds of stats from our business, and so everything you see on our site is really great information, but it's bottom of the funnel because it's straight from us. Usually most websites are going to have some type of mixture of top of the funnel, middle of the funnel, and bottom of the funnel. So identify the audience, do keyword research. You're gonna need a tool like ahrefs.com. You're gonna need a tool like semrush.com. These are softwares. You could use tools like Write, Pullno. You could use other things like Google Keyword Planner, which Dusty has great videos of using the Google Keyword Planner. You should watch those in the ad section. Also, other tools would just be going to Google and typing in the Google search. This is a great tool. So right here, if I just go to Google, I type in carpet cleaning, I can see right away what other people typically type in. So you might look up search operators for Google. So search operators. And if you go to Google search operators, just any post here, you can see different ways to put queries in Google. You could put quotes around it. You could put this or, you can use the word or, you could use pipes. You can use parentheses, dashes, and there's other things that are called advanced search operators. So you could say, I need to know what are the options that have this in the title, or all in title, or in URL, or in text, or all in text, or file type whenever you're searching PDFs. And so let me just show you here how to do a PDF search. Let's just search this. Go to Google, I use my advanced operator, and now these options that pop up are PDF files. And so this is how we want to learn how to use Google. So do your research, optimize your headings. If I look at my different headings here, this is a heading. The meta title here is what we call a heading on a website. Again, if I just randomly hit this page here, Oh, it's a download. Let's get back to the interwebs. So if I hover over this tab here, you can see that shows you the meta title. Use this tool here, open SEO Stats Chrome extension, page info. I can see what the title is. And so I'm allowed to search and see what other people's titles are. I can even right click the page, hit view page source, and I can find the title right here in the meta information. This option is right there, meta title. I can see how people put titles on their pages. Certainly we want to do keyword research and optimize the headings. Add visuals. This is images, audios, videos, a combination of those things. You certainly don't want to use canned images, free images, paid images. You need to get out and collect images that you snap with a professional camera, or even snap it with your iPhone, because your iPhone's actually going to add some metadata to those photos. Include keywords in your title, H1, H2, and content, and certainly add questions to the H2s. If you don't add questions to the H2s, you're not going to have a very good candidate to get a featured snippet. So add visuals, images, audios, videos, include keywords in the title, H1s, H2s, and content. If you don't include the keyword in the H1s and H2s, let's just look up carpet cleaning. You're not gonna have a good chance to get featured snippets. You need featured snippets. All right, so here's featured snippets. Notice, that is a question. That is a question. All these featured snippets are going to be questions. You have to put questions in your H1s if you can, and it's applicable, certainly on your blogs. And you certainly have to have a couple H2s that are questions. A good place to get some questions is answer the public. Beef up your content. I just put carpet cleaning, and now it's gonna give me every single question, and I don't know if it could give me every single question for carpet cleaning, because there's certainly more than 72 questions, but at least gives me some stuff to add. Are carpet cleaning chemicals safe? Anything here. Try to identify if it's at the top of the funnel, just large impression loads. Is that the whole purpose of this post? Somewhere in the middle, is it a question that people ask when they're trying to vet out a certain company? Like when carpet cleaning, is steam cleaning better than alternative methods, or things like that? Or if it's bottom of the funnel, what can we answer that's really applicable to our company? So here's how we're gonna fashion some of those H2s with the keyword. Pay attention to the length. You're gonna notice a lot of these pages that are winning in featured snippets and in Google in general are gonna have massive amounts of content. And so this page is not proving my point, because that only had about 500 pages. But if you look at the majority of these pages that are gonna win featured snippets, and we've done this, we've got a sheet, and a majority of the featured snippet winners are like over 1,000 words. Some of them are upward of 2,000 words. Don't be afraid to write long form content. And then always CTA. If we're not closing the deal and asking people to buy from us, then really our blogs are falling flat. So the whole hope is to fill the top of the hopper, right? We want to get impressions that turn into clicks, that turn into leads, that turn into sales, that turn into repeat customers, and then people that turn around and talk great things about your business. So what factors affect SEO content? In no particular order here. The top factors for ranking on Google are high quality content. This is, we've done good research. We didn't buy a Fiverr to write the content. It makes sense. It matches up against the user's intent. We have H2s. We're using bullet lists. We have good imagery. We have a video if applicable, an audio if applicable. This is high quality content. It's long enough and it's answering the question, and it's not one big block of text. It's not a textbook. People don't look at web pages that way. They scan sections and headers to see what they're trying to read. And then a good high quality content is I'm not talking about all kinds of different things. I'm keeping the focus on that page. It's mobile first. You certainly need to be paying attention to how it looks on the phone. And so a good mobile checker here is just go to a page. Let's just go carpet cleaning. Love carpet cleaning. Just go to a random page here. Complete carpet care Tulsa. If I right click and inspect, and then I hit these double things here, and I hit lighthouse, I can actually check how this page is doing on the phone. I can also do Google mobile friendly check test. mobile friendly test. I can drop my URL in here and I can do a test there. Let me tell you about these tests. The best way to do mobile first checking is to have phone models in your office. If you can get an iPhone and an Android and check it on those phone models, the tools on the web are never exact. Another thing is watch your Google Analytics. As you start to get into Google Analytics and check devices, and so let me just show you where that is real quick. So if I get into Google Analytics, and if I just look at audience here, you know, who are they? Where did they come from? And what did they do? And then we've got some conversion data. If I look at technology, I can see browser. If I look at mobile, I can see devices. And so this is really where I'm gonna look at. If I pop this open, pop some data points, I can look at my bounce rates and see if one bounce rate is higher on a specific device than another. Page experience, make sure that it makes sense. When you think about how a user goes down a page, if they're trying to learn about it, if they're trying to vet out some of your clients, if they're trying to vet you out, then try to make that experience make sense in a chronological order. Also, page speed. I've shown you in other videos, but a very quick place to do a quick page speed check is just ping them. You drop your URL, try to make the server serve from like Washington. Look, you're never gonna have a fast site if you have a slow, bulky theme. You need to get away from, if you're in WordPress, get away from slow, bulky themes. Unfortunately, Divi, one of the leaders in the space, is one of the bulkiest. You really wanna go with an Astra or a WP Ocean, one that's optimized for SEO, it's lean, and you can build customs in them. Again, WordPress isn't inherently the fastest content management system. So really, you're relying on your server more than anything. And also what you serve on those pages. The more images you have, the more calls it requires. The more images you have, the more mistakes you can make. You really want to err on the side of smaller images, like less than 100 KB if you can. If it's a photography site, certainly you can't do that because the photography doesn't look right. So you have to be cautious with how many things you're serving on a page if you have to have them 150 KB, 170 KB to show off the visual appeal of those images. You can always start with the SiteGrounds. The WP engine is amazing. There's some others out there that are super fast. What we did is we popped up a development on all of them right out of the box. We didn't add any pages or anything, and we just looked what we did is we did a theme test. We tested themes, made a page, didn't add anything, and saw what the guts of the theme cost in speed. And then we compared servers. There are a lot of fast servers out there. You're gonna need to do that because speed matters. Internal links, make sure that as you add content to your website, let's just go to some random website here, like Paradiso Insurance. Blog, here's a client we worked with. So look, you've got blogs and blogs and blogs and lots of information. I mean, January, 2 days, 3 days. Look, if you're blogging this much, wow, there's that much information. 172 pages of 6, 8 blogs, whatever this role is, okay? If you're blogging this much in a month, then you're creating a new page a month. You're creating a new page a month. There's a new page. So the bot has to basically click the 3 to get to these if you're not internally linking this post to another post. And so guess what? When you get 4, 5, when your information gets 4, 5, 6, 172 clicks away from home, for all intents and purposes, that is out of the all-seeing eye of Google. The crawl budget is not gonna hit them. So if you have great content that should have aged out and gotten indexed and should be kind of winning in Google, it's probably because it's too far from your homepage for the bots to even find. And that's why we want an internal link. As we add content, we want to go to older posts and link to it. That older content, we also want to go to those older content that are kind of in the same horizontal plane and link to one another. And that's why we want to keep all of this in a sheet to see what we've written and what still needs to be written so that we're not writing, probably like this website, the same post over and over again and cannibalizing those old, really good posts. So external links, certainly as we write high quality content that provides value to the end user, people are gonna link to it, share it, they're gonna save it, come back to it often, and you're gonna garner external links organically. This is the best way. And so if you'll share it with people, and sometimes you can outreach to people and say, hey, we've written a really good resource. Would you link to it from your resource? This is a thing. So know the target audience. Try creating buyer personas, avatar. You might say buyer A, B, C, D. And as your business grows, you're the marketer here, as the business grows that you're marketing for, your avatar changes. And you'll notice that no longer are we serving A very good, but we serve B, C, and D really good. And we want E, but we don't really have the support for E, and E pays a lot more money than really what our product is worth. So as your product and services change, your avatar changes, but at least understand some things about them. And it's good to know, are they Republican? Are they Democrat? Do they live in the country? Do they have kids? Are they male, female? What devices do they use? These are all gonna help you build that persona. How much income? What size home do they live in? What areas and places do they frequent? All of this helps you target ads and content and write it appropriately. So this will shape the type of content that is written, how it's written, what terminology and language is used, because certainly there's a lot of ways to talk about golfing. Clubs, sticks, 9-iron. How do you talk about it if you're a golfer? And what language do you use? And so we need to understand the people that are downstream from our product, and certainly the ones that are best use case for our business. That's who we want to speak to through our content. Do keyword research. Like I said, you have to use tools, and you're gonna have to pay for software. There are free tools out there, free SEO tools. You can Google it and you can use them. It's a good place to start. I know I did. So you have to do research. You have to understand what pages are ranking in Google for those terms now. What's Google serving? So if I put in a query into Google, I'm an electrical company, and I think my client is just gonna search the word electrical, know what they search. Right away, Google's showing me a dictionary entry, but then it shows me some local snack pack here. So some companies with the name electric in it is actually winning against electrical. So that's good to know if I want to name my companies with the word electric. Then what is diploma, Home Depot. Okay, if I'm a local electrical company, I should not be targeting the word electrical. So electric services I saw near me, probably it. So now I'm seeing people run Google guaranteed ads. And so this tells me I'm getting a little closer to having a better fit against what the user's intent is. This is gonna help me to understand user's intent. Also, if I have people running ads over this, certainly if they're spending money on it, it must be returning a return on of ad spend. So ECS Electric. Wow, what a name. If I had that name, I would be running ads too. Obviously, if you're starting a business from scratch, be mindful of the name. Here we go, Aspen Electric Services. I'm starting to get a direct hit and understand how I should tailor the keywords. I would probably do company name, electric services for this page, but I would keep searching. This is how I'm gonna start my research. And then I might also say here at the bottom, people also search for new services. I might talk about new services, electric services, and maybe on the page, how does new services work? How does existing services work? Depends if you're a PSO type company or if you're just an electrician. So you have to do the keyword research. You have to use as many tools as you can. You have to slice the data as many ways as you can. You have to put it in a document, look at it from a 30,000 foot view, get down in the weeds, come back up to about a 10,000 foot view and say, what does this page need to target so that I can win in organic? I also can run ads, but I don't need to necessarily run ads at those cornerstone pages or interiors. I can run ads at actual squeeze pages that were made to squeeze out leads for electrical. So I don't need to worry and say, hey, I need to have this right for both. Really focus on calls to action and content that allows you to win in organic and also helps you with CRO, conversion rate optimization. We want to make sure when they hit that page, they're actually doing what we hope they do. And this is why we can look at our funnels in analytics and actually see what the traffic flow is. When they hit this page, where do they go next? Do they go into a contact page? Are they doing something we think's in action? And that's why we have to set up goals in Google Analytics so we can see what's the convertible traffic. And so if we don't know what the traffic's doing, we don't know what the good traffic is, and we certainly don't know what to tell the people that are giving us money to spend on ads and content what we should spend more money on. And that's why they trust you, the marketer. So do the research, use as many tools as you can. Don't slice one competitor with one tool and then slice them with another tool. Make sure you slice all the competitors with the same tool, apples to apples, and then slice them all with another tool, and then look at that data from that tool, because remember, tools are third party. They're buying data. They're using some third party cookie data, very likely. And so it's really trends versus exacts. So optimize the headings. We looked at those headings. They bleed through the SERPs. That's right here what bleeds through in Google's software. So that is what we call a heading. It's called a meta title. It's called many things. And certainly I would always focus on position 1 and then the company name in position 2. It just looks clean. Electrical Services, Tulsa, Oklahoma. I love it. And these guys are crushing. And so I would keep it that simple. Your main service, geo-modified, pipe it, company name. Hopefully you've got something in the company name that even helps you even further. That's your heading. Optimize it for what you're trying to win for on that page. That's like where we want to have the keyword in multiple spots. So add visuals. You need imagery. You need unique imagery. You don't want images behind text that make it where I'm trying to read and look at the image at the same time. If you're using an image as a backdrop, that's what it is. It's wallpaper. Don't make it where I'm trying to read the content and look at it at the same time. Always move people to the side of the text. So if there's something visual I want to look at, I can get back to my placement on that page when I'm reading it. Also, left adjust content that's supposed to be read. When we read content on websites, I can't stand it when it's center adjusted because my eyes don't like awkwardly go back to this weird line I have to figure out. My eyes are used to going like a typewriter back to this left adjustment. And so make it easy for people to read on a website. I know it looks cool, and some places it's applicable, but be mindful when there's content that needs to be read, you really should err on the side of left adjustment. Using original images, it's key. There's lots of studies out there. Canned images that can just be dropped into image search and there's 10,000 images like it, are really gonna provide zero SEO value and can provide negative SEO value. If I go to Google and I search and I drop my image that I just shot with my iPhone and I drop it in here to the image search, I just drop it in here, and cars I like, it's gonna show me other images that are like it. And so really, I wanna have a unique image because this is gonna help me win in the image search. The image search is often bleeding over in the main search. So here's all verticals, here are the individual verticals, here's the image vertical. And so we wanna have unique images to help us win here because sometimes people go here to take a look at things and to kind of additionally vet. So we wanna have the images up here. When it's something we should be ranking for, they should be our images at the top of the image search. Be mindful to have the images and visuals on those pages applicable to that page. If I can't title the file before it ever hits my website, something applicable to that page, it's the wrong image. And remember, I need to file name it, I need to title it, I need to alt text it, and I need to have a lot. And I need to make sure that they help the experience of the page. Use them as things that people can study, look at, and enhance their experience. Include keywords in the title. Again, the title affects whether the user decides to click on the site. Meta description is they're gonna read it. Google's gonna bold some of these things. It's gonna kind of convince them further. It's not really a ranking factor, it's really that title. So keep the keyword in that title, in the slug, in the H1, in some H2s, in the content. Make sure the keyword density is not ridiculous and obnoxious and hard to read. Just make it tasteful, but you have to focus on it. And then the synonyms, and then an inverse frequency. What is a word that when we're talking about this topic that you only ever see on pages like this? I certainly want to have those words or those questions because that's going to give me some extra ability to rank in Google. Pay attention to length. Now, look, I think longer is better when it comes to content. Certainly there are pages where 500, 600, 7 pages are applicable. But for me, with our writers, 1,000 words minimum. In fact, if we're doing a complete guide, I want it to be 3,000 and 4,000 words. I want to have a lot of H2s that are in that scope of keyword cloud so that Google can give us lots of featured snippets. Google can really say, you know, when this page ranks for this, it also ranks for these other things. And so you want to stay within scope on those pages. When you're getting out of scope, and I'm a carpet cleaning page, I'm talking about hardwoods, and I'm talking about it for 200 words, I'm out of scope. If I have hardwood services pair well with carpet cleaning, that's in scope because I made it in scope. And then I might talk a little bit how they pair. But if I want to learn more about hardwood services, I need to go to that page. And then remember your anchors. Don't anchor out to that page with carpet cleaning because you're on the carpet cleaning page. Anchor out to that page with a hardwood anchor. Always CTA. Don't be afraid to call to action. a page needs a call to action, whether it's an ability to get in a newsletter, whether it's ability to give you their information, to call you, click your address, do an action. So every single blog post, every single page, every single cornerstone, really, you need to have a call to action on every single page. The ability to get in your funnel. Right? What is our funnel? Whatever you define, those funnels are. Also, remember your call to action needs to stand out, needs to be prominent, needs to be in a good place. This is where you're going to use tools like Hotjar, Full Story. See how people are actually interfacing with that page, Crazy Egg. You'll get on there, you'll do heat maps, you'll do videos, and then remember the call to action needs to stand out. So look at a color wheel. If your brand guide says the main primary color is blue, then our call to action should probably be across it because that's what's going to pull my eyes. Stick with an enticing call to action. Don't be afraid to get people to do something on your site, to take action. That's optimizing your content. There's a lot more things we could talk about. I could talk about this for days. I love SEO. If you need to, go back and watch it. If you have questions, email me at william@searchhustle.com. And if not, I'll see you in the next module.